Like to we go straight to the second session of today. As Dr. Marina said, we are on track and we want to be on track. So the second session is going to be the launching of the IUPS Africa Physiology Mentorship Program. This is an international union of physiological science. And the person that is going to launch is no other than Professor Susan, the first Vice President of IUPS. I would like to welcome her. She will say something about that program and officially launch it. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. And so I'm happy to, we've heard a lot about people talk about mentoring and the need for mentoring, mentors as well. So I'm really excited to be able to introduce to you a new program that will be help them to be their selves, but I help them guide them to be what is the best self. And getting a mentor is a shortcut to success. That's very true. And years ago when I was doing a mentoring session for the American Physiological Society, I came across this quote from my own institution, and I love it. A mentor is like a tattoo. It stays with you forever. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about here too, is the idea of this mentoring program that we're going to establish with early career physiology educators in Africa. The person, the mentee, hopefully will keep that mentor for the rest of their life to help them, guide them as their future adventures. And so a little bit of background of how this whole idea of developing this mentoring program came out. And it actually was part of the report from the Board of the General Assembly of the IUPS. So this is a group of people that included Simiat myself at this time, and it still includes Simiat. She is currently a co-chair of the Board of the General Assembly. And at the time I was the vice chair of the Board of the General Assembly. When we got this report for the 2022 IUPS the conference, what do you call it?
Congress.
Congress, that was the word, I didn't think I was the C. The Congress for the IUPS Congress. And we had this report called the Board of the General Assembly Global Report on Physiology, Challenges and the Way Forward. And this is a report generated by contacting physiological societies across the globe to get input about what's impacting them, what do they want to do, and what's been happening. And one of the questions asked, what is the value to being a member of the IUPS? And quite a few of them said it's the opportunity for international research collaborations and improving physiology education and research across the globe. And another thing was a request of what can IUPS do to help you? And one of the requests that came through by quite a few of the organizations is that the IUPS can facilitate support of physiology in developing countries, provide expertise and coordinate the knowledge exchange, and offer enriched resources for physiological techniques and online advanced courses. And so this sort of was an underlying feature. And in that period of time when we were working on that report, what you do is come up with a variety of recommendations of moving forward. What can we do? And this particular mentoring program actually is a follow-through on the recommendations put forth in that report that include the interest in developing networks and working groups that would be both internationally and locally, but to facilitate exchange of knowledge and best practices in teaching and research across the world of physiology. and also that IUPS should oversee a global mentorship building platform to focus on Africa. So for the initial mentoring program, we're going to focus on developing a mentoring program in Africa, and made the decision also to make it be physiology education. But the charge that Sue gave me was to set up a task force that would be co-chaired by a member of the executive committee, which would be me, and a member of the board of the General Assembly. And I kind of reached out to Simiat and said, hey, would you help me with this? And she didn't take much for her to say yes to doing this. She was also very interested in developing this program. And then the rest of the task force includes some members of some IUPS fellows, leaders of African physiological societies, and members of the IUPS Education Committee representing Africa. So here's a list of the members. Several of the people are here at this meeting. So this is a list of the people who were on this. Sue said, let's get a short-term task force. And, you know, it kind of worked. It's amazing because, you know, you usually say, I became a physiologist not because I thought, oh, this is good. It was a physiology course, a physiology educator who just made me get excited about physiology. It was like the first course in the last year of my college degree. It was a physiology course that inspired me to become a physiologist. And so a good physiology educator can inspire that next generation. And also, one of the features that that this mentor program will hopefully do is to facilitate access to some online resources, stuff that is already available to help you with your education skills, but putting it in front of you and working on helping you develop and making use of some of these resources. So what's the long-term outcome would be a career advancement and increased scholarly confidence. So, you know, that's one thing I think a mentor can do. Oh, I don't know whether I can do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And that's the kind of thing that I think a mentor can do. And it's a mentor that is not part of your research program is actually somebody more inclined to be that yes, you can kind of person. And so you're going to get exposed to some new fields and motivation for your career development. And, you know, another thing is, so this is somebody, it's not going to be your boss, it's not going to be your collaborator, it's going to be somebody independent of your current educational environment. It's going to give you the freedom to open up. Because you're not afraid, it's not going to depend upon whether or not you're going to keep your job or not kind of thing. In fact, it's going to help you because you're going to talk to that person, you're going to open up, and you're going to be challenged. And they're going to use them as a sounding board. And I think that's one of the best things that a mentor can do is be a sounding board, listen to you, see what you need, and help you develop that path. And so also, because you're going to be part of a program, you're going to have some goals set. You're going to have timelines. You're going to say, I need to get this done. It's going to be a motivation to get it done because you're working with somebody. You don't want to disappoint your mentor. And so what are some of the challenges in terms of developing this is we want to be able to secure access to some resources that are already available to train both the mentors and the mentees on effective mentorship and collaboration. Identify mentees from geographical regions with experienced educators as mentors. And obviously, as we're saying, we are going to focus on Africa for this initial step in the mentoring program, mentees and for early career physiology educators in Africa. And recruit great mentors willing to devote adequate time to match both the scientific and professional needs of the mentees. So what we did when we formed this task force was the idea was to help. One of the functions of the task force would be to help identify appropriate mentors to pair with the mentees, and use leaders of the African physiological societies and other African physiologists to help them identify people to participate in the mentoring program. So hopefully they can help recruit early career physiologists who could benefit from this kind of a program. So the timeline was set out. Sue said, hey, let's launch this at that meeting in Africa, in Tanzania at the end of the year. And it's like, okay. So it wasn't very much longer, but I thought, okay, I know we'll be able to make this. But we had several conference calls. We got together. We had great input from this task force. Great ideas, came together with a document that we sent them to the executive committee, the IUPS, and they gave us the go-ahead to do this. And here we are. We met the deadline to be able to initiate this program at this meeting here. And And the hope then is that the idea, you want to judge the program to see whether or not we should then expand the program to other initiatives, to other countries, to research as well as to teaching. And so we're going to have a timeline. We figured, give it a couple years of this initial rendition of the program and have some guidelines that we want to, are you meeting this? Is it working? Is it worth continuing on? And so we're going to say, let's say starting out as a 2-year guideline of helping early career physiology educators here really advance their career skills. And so the format for this program, needless to say, a lot of it is going to be virtual. And COVID sort of turned the whole world into a virtual field, right? You can do things with Zoom and everything so easily. Much of these resources are actually open to the public, so they're freely available to anybody who gets access. Some of them are specific for a APS membership, sort of trying to twist the, sort of said yes to it that he would make all that material available for the mentors and mentees involved in this program. It includes actually, for example, I did a series of mini lectures on the autonomic nervous system. And they were designed to be teaching the teachers. And so it's to focus on my expertise in the autonomic nervous system, and there are ways of physiology educators can go and get a kind of a mini refresher course on a specific topic. And they're going to do several of these over the next several years. But that's just an example of the kinds of resources available. So what is the, this is where, are you going to come in on this one? Or? That when was this your, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking up. I knew you were already on there. This is where you're taking.
Thank you so much, Sue. So I'm going to take it from here and talk about the criteria for choosing the mentees for this program. On our part as a task force, we will strive so much for diversity and inclusivity in taking the mentees that will participate in this first cohort of the program. We'll look at candidates from different socio-economic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds across Africa. Of course, male and females will be included, and we'll also ensure that everyone from different regions of Africa, north, south, east, or west, will be included. We're looking for early career educators in physiology who aspire to excel in what they do and are members of a local physiological society. So we're not taking individual working mentees, we're asking for you to come through your physiological society. So you must belong to ESPS or to Physiological Society of Nigeria or wherever it is you're located. So you must have clear goals and areas where you seek guidance and support, and of course we must see in your application that you display some professionalism in the interactions, that you'll be able to communicate very well with your mentor. You must be willing to dedicate time and effort to the mentorship program. Some of them would be mentors or we've communicated with. One of the things that they've told us is they do not want a mentor who is not willing to give time. So this is about you, the early career physiologist. So you must be ready to give time to be mentored, and you must take initiative in your own career development. For the mentors, these will be drawn from various sources, as already mentioned by Sue. We're looking at fellows of IUPS, BGA members, IUPS Education Committee members, IUPS commissions, and everyone in this room. All right, we do have some who've already indicated interest, but we're still up for getting more so that we can have a more robust group of mentors. Of course, we're not only just looking at mentors from within Africa, we're also looking for mentors from across the globe so that we can have a good mix. All right. We want mentors who express genuine interest in mentoring the next generation of physiology educators and who are effective communicators themselves with excellent skills in teaching so that they can guide the strong ones through complex concepts in physiology. We also want those who will be committed to fostering diversity and inclusivity in the mentorship program. So everyone is welcome as long as you are a physiology educator. And they must have a proven track record of successful mentorship in educational activities. You must have noticed I will keep stressing physiology educator, physiology education. This is not really about whether you call it vascular physiologist or anatomic physiologist. We are more interested at this stage in physiology education. All right, and these mentors will, of course, have to be ready to commit time and effort to the mentorship program. So, what are the benefits to the mentee? Why should I be interested in this program? We expect that you will be guided on your chosen career path. It will enhance your career. Like someone said yesterday, and I'm going to ask you later who did say that. If you want to go far, all right, go with somebody. Don't go alone. But if you want to go fast, you want to get there fast, well, if you think you can, then you go alone. So we want you to have an enhanced career growth so that you get to where you're going far enough. And that you will be able to do when you stand on the shoulders of the giants, because you will see further than you will be able to see on your own. So we also have improved or enhanced self-confidence in yourself and in your self-worth. You have somebody who's always saying, oh, well done, you've done well. Oh yes, I didn't believe you could have done that. But yeah, well done. What do you think that will do to you? I think that will boost your confidence. It will do my answer. You take my name. So, improve goal setting abilities. All right. So the mentor will help you to improve in your goal setting abilities. It will also provide for you an opportunity to build a network of peers in a similar field of physiology. All right. You will help with problem solving of your career path, and the mentees. As a mentee, you'll be exposed to new opportunities. Sometimes, like I said, if you stand on the shoulder of a giant, you'll see further. All right? You'll see things that you would never have seen if you were trying to go it alone. So, also, you will also have enhanced diversity in perspectives and insights, which you would ordinarily not have by yourself. To the mentor, of course, they would also gain something from this program. Okay? Yes, they're established physiology educators, but you always gain from every experience. So they would have fulfillment from giving back to the next generation. You can see Susan Gray, you can see your Paul, you can see Barman. They're not aiming to get something more, but they have the fulfillment in growing the next generation of physiology educators. There's also knowledge transfer, and when you transfer knowledge, of course, you also gain something in return. So the mentors will gain from also transferring some of the knowledge, some of the skills to the mentees. They would have career rejuvenation because they do now have the opportunity to also see new things which they themselves may not be aware of, but when the young ones say, oh, I want to go along this path and this is how to get there, they themselves learn. Okay, so, and it may also help them in rejuvenating their career. There's also the opportunity to adapt and identify the mentor's own approaches to different things. Okay, they learn new strategies to address challenges, so it's a give and take, it's a symbiotic kind of relationship. And the mentor also has renewed ideas and perspectives on his own leadership role. Okay, he may have had he may have had other ways of looking at themselves as leaders, but then when you have a new mentor, and then you begin to change and learn new things as well. So what we want to see in the next 2 years is the cohort of mentees who will be in this program to be able to innovate new ideas in medical physiology education from the exposure that we now have in the very fields with interacting with your mentors. Should have new skills and knowledge in the facilitation of learning of physiology. We expect that the mentees would have skills in areas of general academic writing, okay? Proposal, grant writing, scientific presentations, writing for publications. All these are things that we expect that you bring as a mentee from this program. Then you'll be able to set a goal and have an action plan much better than you would have had if you didn't participate in this program. You'd also gain independent decision making. Or if you think, yes, I'm good at my decision making, it will be enhanced. There is no way you go through this mentor program that you will not gain something. And of course, career advancement and increased scholarly confidence. So we have a few mentors who signed up across Africa and across the globe. You can see, we have somebody from Australia, from Birmingham, from all over. So I see people in this room from 22 countries. I think that I did not see some names on this list. It would be nice to see some other people's names on this list who are not already there. I see the Museum of Physiology. I'm still at the Museum of Physiology in Kenya. Mentii means the elder, the elder. So I don't see his name here. So I hope that other women mentors will sign up. Yes, Mentii. Am I correct? Yes. So, and then of course we have some mentees who've already applied. It's not something you just walk to me and say, Simiat, I'd like to be an editor or a mentee. We want you to go to the IUPS website. The form is there. You fill up the application, then we'll select you if we found that you're ready and you fulfill all the criteria that we mentioned. We have 2 already, so we're hoping that this list will grow to at least 20 for this first cohort. All right? Are we together? Yeah, good. So, yeah. Sue.
So just coming back to what we said before, that mentoring is not something that will come and go. Hopefully your mentor is going to be somebody that stays with you forever. And So a mentor is like a tattoo, it stays with you forever. And the idea is you're going to develop a relationship with somebody that's going to help you for the rest of your career. So this is Simiat actually referred to this. Here's another example of a quote from Isaac Newton made his most famous statement. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And so you can look at your mentor as a giant. And that they're helping you by seeing more about the future, of your own future. And it's really, I think, going to be a great opportunity for you to strengthen your network of people that you know, and on both sides. So the mentor is also going to expand their networks as well. And so, go on, and I think that was it, right? And so, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sue and Prof.